Before I begin, I want to say that my videos aren't meant to replace the original works used. These videos are intended as satire. There's a link on screen now and in the description below that takes you to an official source of the main work used. I strongly recommend you watch the original, then come back and watch this video. Hey everyone! This is Hornbingle, nearing the end of the first volume of Rooster Teeth's fantastic animated series, RWBY. And it's a beautiful day, because at last, I'm done reviewing 2 episodes at once! These graphics that took me minutes to make, don't need them anymore! From now on, it's 1 episode per video. Starting now, when we take hold of RWBY Volume 1, Episode 15, The Stray. We start off with some catchy music and some background characters who are actually rendered with color. I could get used to Nope, sorry, no, it was too good to be true. Weiss tells us about the Vital Festival, a big to-do in Remnant, culminating in a combat tournament that happens every few years, this time hosted by Vale.
A tournament! Oh, the amount of planning and organization that goes into this event is simply breathtaking!
Nerd!
You really know how to take a good thing and make it sound boring.
Quiet, you!
Yeah, stop it, Yang. I'm really putting some effort into these videos! Stop ruining my dreams! The team visits the docks, where Weiss hopes to get a look at the incoming competitors when they see a dust shop that's been broken into. It's Bernie and Joel. They're cops, they're gonna be played by Bernie and Joel.
Yeah, it just doesn't make a lick of sense. Who needs that much dust?
I don't know, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah! Called it! I'm so good at this! Ah, arming characters with the Nerf Nightfinder, I see.
Yeah, I'm thinking we...
Ah, good to see some things never change. The police suspect the White Fang, a criminal group made up of Faunus. When she hears that, Weiss goes off at the White Fang in front of her team. When she does, Blake jumps in to defend them.
The White Fang is hardly a bunch of psychopaths. They're a collection of misguided Faunus. Either way, it doesn't explain why they would rob a dust shop in the middle of downtown Vale.
They needed the dust. Was that supposed to be hard? Why else would you rob a dust shop?
Blake's got a point. Besides, the police never caught that Torchwick guy I ran into a few months ago. Maybe it was him?
Oh. Well, Ruby's right. It was probably Torchwick.
That still doesn't change.
But Weiss hasn't made her peace about the White Fang just yet.
Only know how to lie, cheat, and steal.
That's not necessarily true.
Hey, stop that Faunus!
Stop that Faunus! He's lying, cheating, and stealing! The team hears some commotion coming from a ship where this Faunus guy is on the run. And since he's not a shadow folk, there's about a 50% chance that he'll be a main character. Especially after this wink he gives to Blake. When Team RWBY goes to chase the Faunus down, they lose him on a side street and run into this girl instead. She's a bit awkward, to say the least.
Are you okay?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. Take care, friend.
After exchanging a brief conversation, the gang looks for that Faunus again, but it appears that Penny isn't done with them just yet.
You heard me.
You called me friend. Am I really your friend? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Come on, don't be that way. This is also what I'm like when I try to make friends. This is Penny, apparently a student who's also competing in that tournament they mentioned earlier. Given a name, entered in the tournament, fully colored. Yep, she's also going to be a main character.
If you're here for the tournament, does that mean you know that monkey-tailed rapscallion?
Whoa, Weiss! Keep the language down! There are kids watching this show! Which leads to another argument between Weiss and Blake.
person.
one that lasts for pretty much the rest of the episode. For the sake of speeding this up a little, I'll condense the arguments made by both of them. Weiss starts it. She insults the Faunus from the boat for no other reason than he's a Faunus. We later learn that it's because the White Fang has been fighting the Schnee Company for its exploitation of Faunus labor, which has made her instinctively prejudiced against them. Blake tries to make her see the other side. For reasons that we discover later, she's very sympathetic towards Faunus and takes it personally when Weiss verbally attacks them. Now, as I've said a few times, I'm a big fan of Weiss. Furthermore, Blake was always my least favorite member of Team RWBY. Not a bad character, just my least favorite. But in this argument, I completely agree with Blake. Weiss is being rude, judgmental, and close-minded. If the White Fang are attacking her family's company, then I feel that her anger at them is justified. But when she then applies that anger to every Faunus she sees, it becomes a very big problem. Luckily, spoilers, she learns a lesson about not judging others, but if Weiss never changed, this behavior would be inexcusable. So, now that I'm through that, I'll continue with the episode. The argument comes to a head after Weiss explains her side, culminating in this exchange.
No! You want to know why I despise the White Fang? It's because they're a bunch of liars, thieves, and murderers!
Well, maybe we were just tired of being pushed around.
Yup, Blake is a Faunus. Well, of course. I'll be honest, I had to watch this episode a few times to realize that that was supposed to be a twist. She stood up for the White Fang so adamantly, and I guess that Sun's wink may have been hinting at it, so it just seemed natural that she's a Faunus. I don't know whether it's good for the show or bad that I had no reaction to that reveal at all.
I knew you would look better without the bow.
Blake's a big girl. I'm sure she can handle herself.
It seems that the episode jumps a few days, because RWBY drops a line that they've been looking for Blake all weekend.
Maybe she is, maybe...
I know this is supposed to be a serious scene, but for the love of all that's good, please learn how to walk right. I don't know what this is, but I'm sure that it isn't walking. We end on a shot of Blake and Sun drinking tea at some kind of cafe, and that's The Stray. The other episode where Weiss spends all of her screen time arguing with a teammate.
Don't you? The Faunus of the
But unlike in the Emerald Forest, her position now is actually justified. I still agree with Blake that Weiss is judgmental to a fault, but we're given a reason for it in this episode, and that's really all that I need. Arguing because you think it's unfair that you aren't the leader is immature and petty, but arguing against something that's had a major negative impact on your entire life? Sure, I'll allow it. And the rest of this episode was pretty good too. It sets up the Vital Festival, it introduced Penny and Sun, we get a hint about Roman Torchwick coming back. Ah, the possibilities. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a nice day.